Explain how brain lateralization influences behavior. Brain lateralization and psychology. Brain lateralization means that the two halves of the brain, known as right and left hemispheres, function differently but yet interdependently. If we study the brain anatomy, we will understand that the brain is divided into two hemispheres, which are connected by the corpus callosum. Both of these hemispheres regulate the body movement and receive the sensory stimuli from the opposite side of the body. For example, the left hemisphere controls the movement and sensory stimuli of the right side of the body. The left hemisphere is more analytical in nature and pays attention to details, handles assignments or processes information sequentially, and takes care of the tasks like writing, reading, and speaking. This hemisphere of the brain is also concerned with reasoning, rationality, logic, discipline, and rules, and dealing with hard facts. People with strong left hemisphere have an inclination for science, maths, and technology, have a clear picture of their goals due to a clear sense of planning, are physically quite active, and extrovert in nature. The left hemisphere controls the right portion of the body. Right hemisphere. The right hemisphere deals with the softer facets of life. This hemisphere of the brain is concerned with emotions, feelings, intuitions, visualization, spatial knowledge, creativity, and recognizing patterns. Right hemisphere also helps in making inferences and provides a holistic perception, as a result of which the right hemisphere is helpful in developing a strong self-perception or sense of self-awareness. It controls the left side of the body, looks after the motor skills, sports and play, risk-enduring capabilities, variety, flexibility, and people with strong right hemisphere are mostly introverts. How brain lateralization influences behavior. In case of a normal brain, information will travel from the left hemisphere and pass through the corpus callosum to the right hemisphere of the brain, and the reverse is equally true. Both the hemispheres of the brain function interdependently, and the information is solely not processed by only a single hemisphere. Lateralization theory in psychology believes that one hemisphere dominates while carrying out certain tasks or function. However, the degree or the extent of lateralization will differ from person to person or individual cases. For example, in case of right-handed people, the language control function is controlled by their left hemisphere, whereas in the case of left-handed people, this function is controlled by the right hemisphere of their brain. Whichever task one performs, one hemisphere of the brain will always dominate, though the other hemisphere will also have a role to play while handling that task to some extent. For example, while playing cricket or any sports-related activity, which is a right hemisphere-governed activity, if we are excessively bothered about rules and regulations, which is related to the left hemisphere, we would lose interest from the game, though rules and regulations are an integral part of this game.